like it means nothing.
Welcome everyone, and first question, how cool was that? So, pretty cool. So I want to talk about social engineering today. So I have a lot of slides, and at first I wanted to thank everyone that you are here, because I know that you are probably partying, or it's like early morning, so yeah, I have a headache myself, so I understand that, it was like a kind of like a sacrifice to be here, so thank you. And so to move along, about me, I'm a security analyst, penetration tester, and social engineering specialist at Black Hills. I'm going to show off my t-shirt here. And I'm also like a podcast host on Twitch. And yeah, you can print screen, like take a picture of that slide, and maybe watch me one of the times. And then, yeah, cover access specialist, certified, and yeah, used to be Wonder Woman of cyber, because I had this picture on LinkedIn with the red cape behind me. But I decided, yeah, it's maybe not a good idea to. This is like a copyrighted image, so I decided, yeah, I actually, yeah. I might feel like a Wonder Woman, but let's keep it secret. I'm a woman in red now, and I had an award, and I was one of 40 under 14 cybersecurity 2023, selected by Top Cyber News magazine, and I wanted to focus, start here for just 1 second, because this is actually my dream job. So, just wanted to say, don't. Yeah, dreams come true. So, and don't self-reject yourself. If you want to apply to a job that you really want to do, then just do it. Don't think, oh, they will not pick me up. Just send the CV, and yeah, good things happen. So you just have to believe in yourself. And this place is really great, because Black Hills Informational Security, and they actually asked me to send their kind regards to you and the community here. It's a cool thing, because I used to work in a big corporation. Yeah, I will not maybe disclose the name, but if you check my LinkedIn, you will know. And I felt like I'm a pen tester there, so I had like my hands tied behind my back, and I couldn't do any exciting things for me. So because there are like limitations. But there in Red Team Operations Center, you are pretty much acting like a real attacker, and you have to do as much damage as you can. So I'm really happy that I got to be work with them, because they also have not only penetration testing, but red teaming, physical, social engineering, so everything a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to show off my certifications, and I have an arrangement with Brian, that is the owner of Cover Access team, that if anyone signs up to his class with he can use my code at checkout, and he'll get 10% discount. So those are really cool trainings, and I will talk about some of the Cover Access specialist training here, a tiny bit. Let's move on. So disclaimer, so yeah, that's only sharing knowledge, nothing. Please don't use it in a malicious way, just business ethical purposes. My agenda is a bit different that is actually in the presentation, because last week I was in Denver on Wild West Hacking Fest, and I added some of the slides from that presentation into this one, because I felt like maybe it's a bit outdated. It's only about social engineering, and that one was about social engineering your way into a server room. So a bit, maybe more spicy there. What is social engineering? Art of manipulating people into performing actions, divulging confidential information, or into granting access, often without technical exploitation. And one more disclaimer, kind of information that there is a lot of text on my slides, so Yeah, I will not read everything, so yeah, you have to focus. I'm sorry, this is very early in the morning to do that, but I want to teach you something, so I hope I will succeed. Social engineering vectors, so most of it focuses like on the internet, on phishing, where like attackers deceive people into revealing sensitive information or install malware or anything like that by clicking on a malicious link, usually in an email. But I will not focus on that. I just wanted to highlight that this exists. But let's move along. We have spear phishing also when you point a specific person, whaling when you target like someone like big in the corporation, like a CEO. SMS smishing, and telephone, yeah, you know, all kinds of things. And then there's watering hole attack, which capitalizes on the trust that so users you have for websites they regularly visit. So if someone, for example, there is company A, company B, if company A, there is no attack vector to get to company A, but you know that they buy paper from Microscope paper company, for example, which is company B, and so you can, focus your attack on company B because they will eventually get there, and so they can, be attacked there. So okay, and there's also baiting. So you drop infected USBs, and I will not read what is here, but tell you like a story from what my friend told me that he does. He drops USB flashes, and before that he does some OSINT and finds out who is like the most beautiful woman in this company, and then writes on the USB Deborah's diary or Deborah's pictures, and then probably maybe someone will find it that is very excited about Deborah and will plug it in because I don't know, I want to read the diary, maybe she likes me, and then I can make a move. Okay, and dumpster diving is when you just dive into a dumpster looking for any information that might be like maybe phone bills or something that you're looking for. But actually yesterday on the presentation I found out that here you just have like a trash bin that you can bring with you home, so no need to dive, you can just take it and then play with the lock. I have some examples of attacks. So Barbara Corcoran was scammed out of a lot of money, and the technique used business email compromise, email spoofing. The attacker used a lookalike email address to impersonate a trusted employee and tricked Barbara's bookkeeper into wiring money for a false real estate transaction. And another one that's like even more money, So Cabarrus County, North Carolina fell victim to a ransomware attack, and they used phishing, tricking an employee into clicking in a malicious email. And I will use this example to paint you how the 4 phases of social engineering look in real life. So there's 4 phases: reconnaissance, engagement, exploitation, and execution. Reconnaissance, I will talk more about this as gathering information. Engagement, establishing communication with the target to build trust, rapport, and sense of urgency. Exploitation, manipulating the target to divulge sensitive information. And then execution, when you complete the objective and deploy the malware, so whatever is your objective there. And on that example, so the attackers gathered information on employees, internal operations, and IT infrastructure, identified potential targets, then crafted a phishing email designed to appear trustworthy and legitimate, and then in the engagement phase, a county employee received a phishing email containing a malicious attachment. The email was crafted to mimic internal communication, tricking an employee into opening the attachment. And in the exploitation phase, the ransomware was deployed, encrypting critical files. And the execution attackers demanded 1.7 million to restore access. And the Cabarrus County Cabarrus County decided to pay the ransom, so yeah, that was successful for the attackers. And I want to talk about reconnaissance now. So that's when you are gathering open source information. So what can you look for? Social media intelligence, maybe social, there online social activity, social media activity, search engine data mining and scraping, public records checking. Yeah, you can do also information matching and verification from data broker services. And what we are actually looking for, so the company structure, because you want, that's actually like a slide crafted for cover access to entering the building and preparing for physical pen testing, but it's also very relevant to social engineering, because you also have to make your research and find out about the organization hierarchy, employees, vendors, contractors, who can you attack, where is your attack path there. But if you're going to the office to social engineer any of the employees, it's important to find out their dress culture, so the dress code actually, so you don't stand out. You cannot go dressed with your hood on your head, because that will look a bit suspicious. But business casual probably is the way to go, and see how the other people are dressed. What are the business processes in the company? Security protocols is like a third-party cleaning service. There is comes at a specific time. I will talk about this later. Why is that important? And employee habits, maybe they're or also cultural things. I heard that here in the Nordic regions, people are super kind and they don't really want to bother you too much, and so you can maybe use that in your attack path to just go somewhere and people will not maybe stop you. So just check what are the things that you should keep in mind before, and kind of like a checklist for collecting OSINT information before the assignment, before engagement. So have you enumerated people mentioned in the documents on the site? Google searches, Metacrawler. Have you enumerated the executives? Look for all the informations you can get, because that's gathering the reconnaissance OSINT information is the most important phase for me, because then you can craft better attack, in my opinion, actually. So have you established the employee email addresses? All of those things. And about the company, what is the checklist here? So what is the email syntax? That's important if you want to, for example, create an email that is looking like the company email. So maybe there will be some signs at the end when they don't really see the end of the email. Some people don't really click on them, so to check the whole how the email looks like. So they only see the first part looks correct. So okay, that looks legit. Let's see. And sometimes people don't really think about it, because we have a lot of tasks to perform. So you can click on the link without thinking. So it's just that's important to make your research. So the email and the email address looks very realistic. So sympathy and empathy, what's that? So sympathy is caring for caring that a person feels bad or is under some form of duress, like after losing a loved one or a pet. And empathy is understanding how people feel as if you were in their situation. And empathy is crucial thing to have if you want to be a social engineer, because then you can craft your attack better, you can build rapport with the person better. And so you need to be able to express how you feel and how the victim feels, and be able to exert influence and to know when you're going too far. And also don't build negative that's for report, actually. Don't build a negative rapport, because then the person will get angry. You will not get any trust, any help from that person. So rapport is, that's what I mentioned before, mutual trust that makes communication possible in an easy, friendly, harmonious relationship. And the cafe picture there is, you can build a rapport by just sitting in a cafe for like, I don't know, getting back to some place on a regular basis, maybe like for a month, and then after the month you will go and have the engagement. And then, for example, the security guard don't really think that you are a threat because you're like part of the background there. So yeah, you kind of like by sitting there, you're building rapport with the security guard. That's kind of like an example I wanted to use here. And pretexting is the act of crafting a fabricated scenario where the attacker is impersonating someone with authority or business within the company. So you can dress on the first day of engagement, you can dress normally, for example, and just research like what is the building, what people are doing. But on the second day, you may use props, like dress differently, maybe use like a helping, like, I don't know, like dress as some kind of maintenance person, or like someone higher in the ladder in the corporation, so dress very formally, for example. And that's an example of, you can also be like an UPS delivery person, but if you are going to a server room, probably the delivery person is not allowed there, so just think that through and create a good pretexting situation for yourself. Influence is works by creating an environment or set of conditions where the target is more likely to make decisions or act in a way that aligns with the social engineering's goal. And it often occurs over a prolonged period. And persuasion is when you have like a specific outcome in mind, getting someone to reveal information, click a link, so it's like maybe shorter period, but uses specific techniques such as logical reasoning, emotional appeals to make the target agree with a particular viewpoint or make a specific action. Reciprocity is like, I wanted to tell you about 8 techniques of influence. And first one is reciprocity. I have to drink some water. You have to find out during the OSIT phase, what do they want. It could be a physical item, secret information, or some services valuable to the target. And by giving them something, or you create that feeling of in-depthness, and then you can request a favor, and the favor will be granted. Obligation is a bit similar to the previous one, but the target feels the need to make actions out of moral, legal, contractual duty, or religious requirements. And for example, if you want to target a receptionist with malware, you can give her like a beautiful gift or like a thumb drive that looks like really expensive, and say, oh, we are giving you this thumb drive, and it contains our catalog, so you can just take it, plug it in, and order whatever is an interest to you, and she will feel like obligated because that looks expensive and they just gave it to me, so she will do it, and that's the obligation. Concession is when the is admission or acceptance. The social engineer accepts to do something for another person, but social engineer will know that the social engineer will never agree to something that he feels that is not useful for him. But if something could be useful and leveraged later, he will do it, because then he can request a favor from the target afterwards. So that's a concession. You do something for a person, but then I will have a favor to ask for you later. And you have urgency and scarcity. That's an example that is actually used in phishing emails, for example, or I have there like when you signed to a local gym, and there is like a special offer, like one at a time. If you will not buy it in the next 5 minutes, it will cost like $1 million as a joke, but just to highlight, explain it better. So you feel like, oh, I have to hurry because that's like a special offer, and then it will be like really expensive, and I can get it for like $1 now. So you rush to finish the form and like apply, and then you get on board. But then actually, if you just relax and not be manipulated by that situation, then you can see perhaps the timer will reset over and over again. So remember when someone asks you to act very urgent and kind of like manipulating you and like making you feel silly and like not think straight, then be cautious, because that's that could be something malicious there hidden. And authority is when you pose as, for example, law enforcement officers, government officials, lawyers seeking certain information. And for example, pretending to be a CISO and request a certain credentials. That actually, I know about attack like that, when someone called someone in finance asking him to wire a transfer, like posing as a CISO of that company, and she felt like, oh, I will get fired if I will not do it. So that's an example of authority. Commitment and consistency. We aim to commit people to seemingly minute tasks, and then because when someone approaches you, you think, oh, that person is walking towards me, but how much time will it take? What does he want from me? Is that going to be like a problem for me, like a threat? So if you walk up to a person and say, oh, I'm about to leave this restaurant, so you say, okay, it's not going to take a long time. But do you mind answering one question for me? And then you ask, for example, I don't know what type of laptop they use, if you want to divulge some information from them. So they will be more willing to answer your question, because they already know, okay, that will not take like an hour, like a whole day. But sometimes there are like situations when someone commits to like a tiny task, because they feel, oh, it's not a big deal, but then you come back and ask another one and another one and another one. So that's like, that's an example of this. Liking, because everyone likes, everyone, that's a very human thing. Everyone wants to be liked, and that's what, for example, salespeople use. They walk out to me using, like, they're smiling very naturally. Maybe not always, because when the eyes don't smile, and you know that it's a fake smile, but if you like very nice to someone and like smiling and like, you know, willing to help, then that person will, oh, I like that person, he's like really kind to me, you know. So that's what salespeople use to kind of like push you into buying more things, because they work on commission. A social proof, that's like actually a pretty cool example. So, and also like a very human thing. So when you are in a very new situation, and you've never been in that situation, you've never been in that city, you don't know how to behave, how to act. A very human thing is to just look around and like look what other people are doing. So there was an experiment in one of the big cities, I think it was New York or some big city in United States, where people just started standing like this, looking up, and like acting a bit like maybe scared. And when do you look up in a big city? You know, like I've watched a lot of apocalypse movies. So when something bad happens, or there's like a UFO, like or maybe some kind of a missile is flying towards us, or something scary is happening, you know. So everyone felt like a bit nervous and started looking up what is happening. So that's like an example of social proof. That there was also like I wanted to give another example when there was like a situation when someone is pretending to be a celebrity and he has like a crowd around him, like asking for autographs and like acting like, or you know, like very in love with the fake idol. So then other people started, oh, who is that? Who is that? Maybe I can walk up and like find out and like maybe ask an autograph as well. So that's another example. Manipulation is actually another technique. And it ranges from a total brainwash to subtle hints to make the target more, make a certain decision. So to increase the predictability of the target to, why do we use manipulation? I have to add that before I'm going to list that. To control the target's action and environment, to destabilize the target with doubt, to make the target feel powerless, and or to punish or intimidate the target. But that's like a very negative, dark way. We don't actually want to go there. We want them to like us and help us, perform our social engineering and complete our goal. And another thing I wanted to mention is elicitation, and then we are going to more juicy parts. So it's like the school time is about to end now. So elicitation is subtly extracting information from a target in carefully crafted conversations without raising his suspicions. For example, if you did your research, for example, that person loves The Office, the TV show, for example, or he loves hockey. So you can start the conversation with oh, did you see that episode when Michael was, or oh, did you see the game of Boston Bruins yesterday? And then you feel common interest with the person, and they will feel like they want to be friends with you, actually. So then you can start asking them more detailed questions. For example, I'm working on a project similar to what your company does. How do you manage such a complex system? And then the person will try to act cool and might divulge some company information that are very secret. So just be careful when someone is trying to ask you tricky questions like that. And I have an example here. I cannot hear the sound, but I know that you know.
And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was... Look again. Freeze it.
So that's an example that I wanted to share. Why does it work? Because if I would be on enter a room in a red dress with people with black hoodies. I did that actually a week ago in Denver on that conference I went, and a lot of people looked at me because it's it's a different color. It's someone that pulls your attention, and that's actually what I wanted to talk about here. So I will teleport you all into a bank lobby, and so imagine you're in a bank lobby. You enter there. You're on an assignment. And so in a bank lobby, there's usually a place when you can get a free coffee. So you just casually go there, get a cup of coffee, and then start slowly looking around. Where's the camera placements? There's you can see that there's security guard booth, and next to the booth there's a gate. Where you enter with scanning your badge first, and you drink your coffee casually and look what people are doing there. So it checks out people first scanning the badge and entering the door. There are cameras pointed at the gate as well. So okay, you have your badge here, but it's not really a real badge. It's just has a picture on it. So you cannot scan. The gate will not open. But you walk closer to the security guard and you see he has the camera on the screens there, but he's not really looking at them. He's busy with something else. And then your friend enters the lobby. He's wearing a red dress, and you ask her, to do something for you. So she enters in the red dress into the lobby, stands there in the middle. She's already having people looking at her, and then she drops chaotically some documents on the floor, tries to pick them up. So people rush there. Some people rush to help her. Some just look what is happening there. There's a commotion, definitely. So that's a good moment actually to jump the turnstile and go on with your assignment, because the security guard was not looking at the cameras. Everyone is looking somewhere else, not at you. So that's an example how can you change someone attention and then do some use it to your advantage. And I wanted to share some real examples from assignments when people were going into a server room. So, and then what kind of a vulnerability is there encountered? And that's like a screen from Darknet Diaries, episode 40, No Parking, when they just went found out that there's like a room with like some noise from that room, so they assumed that's the server room, because that was like a very specific noise. And so they started to look around, like what is their vulnerability, and they found out that there are like the tiles in the ceiling, so they like looked there, and there was no wall above the server room, so someone just jumped through the ceiling into the server room and did their thing. So what did go wrong in there? So your server room is like a very secure place, so probably you should have at least the ceiling and like some security plates that will pressure sensitive and will know when someone is in the room, like some heavy things enter the room. And probably there will be like a few cameras around the room and like inside of it. But actually there was nothing like that in that situation. So that's I wanted to mention, because it's a very interesting vulnerability to just not have the ceiling there. So let's move along. And what do you do if you enter the server room? So you just plant your flag and exit, actually. And the client will not ask you to hack the mainframe or like do anything malicious with the servers, because they need it for production. And so usually on an assignment they will ask you to, I don't know, take your selfie in the server room while you're like holding a malicious device. Maybe it's, I don't know, your flipper or your like pen drive, USB drive. So that's already, you're there, you're ready to plug it in, like some kind of a device that you're there. So that's already like scary that you gain access. So that's usually enough for an assignment. So I just wanted to, and what is your exit strategy when you are on assignment? So if your pretext evolve a specific time frame, then probably you should keep into that time frame. And if you say, oh, I will be there for 10 minutes and for some kind of excuse, and then you go to the server room. So don't be there for like an hour. And actually document for success, that's a very important thing, but you have to have, the client has to allow it, so specifically tell you that he agrees to you taking any photographic documentation or record voice or audio, like that's actually the same thing, but voice or, like the video feed, that's what I wanted to say. So that's the evidence for the client, but you have to agree with it, and he has to agree. And the important part is also, like, if you want to scan someone's badge, don't follow anyone outside of the work area. Don't go to a coffee with someone, like, I don't know, if you see in a nearby pub that someone has a badge sticking out, and as actually the badge that you need to enter the office that you want. That's not ethical. So I don't advise you to do that. But just wanted to say that. Very ethical things. And we are nice here. And cleaning stuff, is it vulnerable? So I think yes, because you actually don't know who they are. If anyone, I don't, maybe I can ask that question, because what are the names of 4 members of the cleaning staff? Is any one of you know 4 names of cleaning staff? And no one is raising their hand. So that's what I assumed, that we don't really know those people. They're all outside, from outside company. And they're just there, like, mostly after hours to perform their job. And chances, or they will not recognize you also, like, on an engagement if you just pretend to be an employee, so they will not stop you. And also, like, this picture I wanted to share, it's from the cover access team training deck, actually, but that's like a very cool example that on an assignment Brian found that one of the security personnel left their keys and badges like on their, like the, I don't know the word in English, but you know what that is, right? Like the stroller thingy. So then he just cloned the badges and he could access the server room, because in that company, that the cleaning staff also gain access like to every room in the building. So that's also not advisable to let the security staff enter like very secure areas in the building. So maybe, that's not a good idea, because they have low security awareness. They are, unsupervised during off hours and can enter most of the rooms. I didn't see the text. And also I wanted to share some examples from real engagements from my friend. You see his blog on the bottom of the screen, that's Console Cowboys. And he been through like, I don't know, hundreds of engagements. He can shim a door. Actually, I can do that too in a few seconds. So if you have like that mind frame after the cover access training, for example, then you see a lot of vulnerabilities, how easy it is to open a key box. It's also like, I don't know, under a minute. So just I wanted to share some examples. So he said that he has a shirt with a pocket in front, because there he puts his phone like this and he can record when he's like doing something with the door, trying to open it, or maybe entering areas, or doing anything that he has to do on the engagement there. You can also create like install a sniffer to this server room. You can actually when you see like a door that looks like super secure, but sometimes there's like a tiny vulnerability that the lock doesn't have a dead latch, so you can also like shim the door and like don't play with the buttons there on the device. He's still like sharing the badge or the badge reader. That's a very cool example, because sometimes you have like an office where they have to scan their badge, so you can install like a fake badge reader next to the door that didn't have one before, and then the people like from like just I don't know, having experienced that before, they would just do it by like a habit. So they will scan, maybe some of the people will scan their badge on that badge reader, and then you'll have some badges to clone out of that. So that's a cool example, I think. And also, you have to, he said that he uses for his research pages like LoopNet, which shows the buildings that you can rent. And there are like pictures of how the door looks like, what maybe some kind of a layout of the building. So already that's good for your research and like, starting getting an upper hand without actually going to the office first. So also a good example is when you like scan, you get like a badge, and you can scan it, and you see the number of the badges, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. Then you, with using your like hacker mindset, you can guess that maybe the admin will be 2301, or something along those lines. So then you can try to emulate up from there. And another example, that's a lot of examples. You can open the door to the server room or directly, remotely after breaching the internal network and finding the access control servers. And once you're inside, there are no locks and doors. They assume everyone inside is safe, so they don't do a lot of security. If maybe the entrance is super secure, there's like a lot of few levels of that. But he said like exiting is never a problem, and I know him, and he's just casually. He has a lot of audacity about him. So he just casually enters a building, no one stops him, no security guard says like, oh, who are you? So he goes there, like does his thing and leaves after an hour, and that's a report for him because he records everything. So, and then he also told me on an engagement when he did that, and then came back next day. And they were like a bit confused, but they didn't stop him again. And then he came back third day, and then he walked out to them with like, oh, we were on an engagement. I did this, and this, and this, and they said, oh, we noticed you were that guy. So yeah, it was like really interesting that they saw him, but they did nothing because he has like, if you act very confident, then no one will stop you because no one really likes a very human thing. If you are confident, act like you have authority, people just don't want to get into trouble. So probably no one will stop you. So yeah, that's another layer of thing. And post-engagement reporting. Remember to take all your gear. Don't leave anything installed on the client side. If you left like a listening device in the conference room, just don't leave it there. It's a bad idea. And the reporting. What do you add there? What do you write in your report? So you mentioned the tactics used, vulnerabilities identified by you, and recommendations are improving physical security, social engineering awareness, and access control measures. So that's And some more teaching at the end. I will try to maybe speed it up because I'm running out of time, but what do you need to be a social engineer? Psychological insight, empathy, emotional intelligence, persuasion, deception, communication skills, so active listening, charisma, clear and confident communication, adaptability and flexibility, quick thinking, because the situation may change, so you have to be flexible there. Observation, attention to detail, so potential pattern recognitions that can reveal vulnerabilities. Patience and persistence, because sometimes you have to wait for a long time or something may change and you have to start from the top. Technical knowledge will help you to create a convincing attack like phishing or craft that email. Ethical judgments, because we don't want to act unethically, so don't approach person that you looks like he's just like on the edge, like about to have a mental breakdown. That's an easy target, but please be ethical, because that person can be just push one step too far, so we don't want to do that. And social engineers succeed by mastering the art of manipulation and understanding technical systems and human psychology, and counter elicitation techniques. So you can redirect the conversation to a different topic, provide vague or non-committal answers, reverse the question, respond with a question. So how to protect yourself? You can take a picture. That's actually a good idea. Feigning ignorance. So you can. I'm just like a intern here. I don't know about this project. You can state company policy. So this paragraph in this policy doesn't allow me to answer this question for you. And awareness, and alertness, you already at the last one, because you are being informed about this, so you're already aware. So, and thank you for listening. So just wanted to ask you to share what you learned today with family and friends. I think that will be also available on YouTube, so you can share it with your friends so they can listen, or ask me questions on LinkedIn. And I'm a very kind person, so if you have any questions, you can approach me on LinkedIn and ask them there, ask for connections. So I'm really happy to help if anyone wants to enter cyber as well. So I don't know if your niece is into that and doesn't know how to go about it. I got many messages from people that say, oh, my daughter looks up to you. So that's very rewarding for me. So that's what I'm doing on LinkedIn. I'm trying to share my knowledge, motivate people into going about and fulfilling their dreams, because I used to work in a super toxic place and I felt oh gosh, I don't think that that's what I wanted to do with my life. And then I changed my life 180 degrees and became a pen tester. So it's possible to you. Don't self-reject. Send that CV. And that's actually what I wanted to share at the end. But yeah, if you have any questions, then I'm happy to answer. Thank you.